And a couple to start the over. Yeah, the options that were aforementioned, Joel. And over for Class. Tryon has a couple, Kaka has a couple. The first time we're seeing the Clark in this innings, so trying to get an over out of the way and also to see if she can pick up a wicket.
It's a bit windy out there, and we take you back to that first T20 International on Friday, where Glasgow would have picked up her first 50, that 53, and not out off of 44 deliveries. She was proud of her performance. She enjoyed the time that she spent out there in the middle, credited with the words of her team and the support of her team in being able to reach a landmark like this. Still very young in her career. The Bills don't want to seem to play cricket today, Badri.
They're not cooperating. Not the strikers in, at the non-strikers in. It's been endemic throughout this series, this tour. And even the signs are being blown away.
She's gone to pace off. That's her modus operandi so far. And it seems to be working, Samuel.
I'm a little bit concerned because she doesn't have a third on the boundary. She has two fielders backward of point, a short third backward point, and Glasgow seems to favor that area, but as you mentioned, pace off, so not altogether too risky.
Takes everything off again, and a bit of a misfield. Hayley Matthews, maybe not aware to it, just running through the crease. Might have been dangerous thinking too.
Yeah, just overrunning there and not able to capitalize on what might have been an additional run.
Will have to bowl that one again, and might feel lucky because any bit of bat on that would have been to the right of fine leg, short fine. Can maybe think two here. And good running means that they get it 16 gone. 87 for 4.
love to see the back of Hayley Matthews. 4 overs to go. 0.75 to the over is what's required. Here's Kaka. This field allows a single.
This is good for West Indies. The captain is still out in the middle. Hayley Matthews, she has a strike rate of 97.78. Not the usual over 100 we're accustomed seeing, but she's playing the situation.
Yeah, spot on, Stacey. It's so important for her to be there, to lead and show this team that ability to square the series and make it all to play for tomorrow. Pace off throughout this game has made it really difficult. 29 balls since the last boundary. Both teams have found it difficult in that middle period. From a South African perspective, losing Tasman Brits has been the mainstay throughout both white ball series. Put pressure on the rest of the batters.
How often have you seen for South Africa a lower order batter as top scorer? Henry Dixon with 21 in that first innings.
Tasman Brits have a lowest score in the tour so far today. We're out for 14. Lower order resistance, but really the pressure that West Indies put on South Africa kept breaking partnerships as they were rebuilding. Not as tidy in the field as they were in the opening game, South Africa.
Yeah, good awareness from Matthews, and Glasgow played into the offside, but the fielder just missed field. Matthews was backing up quite high, so able to get the single.
Again, what's been really good about West Indies today is just how well they've rotated strike. They've found the gaps, they've put pressure on South Africa's fielders. Strike on 47, Matthews.
Even though it's been 32 deliveries since a boundary has been hit, they've been able to rotate the strike. They've been able to get twos to keep that run rate in play.
Six from the over, 93 for 4.
21 needed from 18. West Indies will think that they're in the driver's seat because their captain is out in the middle. Glasgow's heroics in the last match. She's out in the middle with her skipper, so they'll think they have the best chance.
One more runs needed by West Indies to square the series. And Captain Hayley Matthews has been the key to them staying on track on a surface that hasn't been easy for run scoring, especially for the new batter. Here's Masabata class now, 3 overs, 1 for 17.
Here you look at the comparisons just a while ago, and the only thing that really stands out is the wickets. South Africa lost 7 in this phase. 6 at this stage. Whereas West Indies, they've only lost 4, which is a good sign for them.
Yeah, there was a passage of play where South Africa lost 3 for 10. It's those little batting collapses the coach will be mindful for. Have a look at how can we rebuild better? How can we avoid those collapses? Who will take the leadership role in that period, especially when the likes of Brits and Wolfart and Kapp are out? A couple of youngsters in the team as well. Miane Smith playing in only her second game.
And then when you check the partnerships for South Africa, the opening partnership 30 from 30 between Brits and Wolfart. The next recognized partnership was 34 between Dirksen and Miso, and that was down the order. So from a West Indies perspective, not allowing them to build those partnerships, but from South Africa's perspective, that's where they've been good in the previous matches. Constantly building partnerships because Tasman Brits was in the middle.
Yeah, quite blustery conditions here at the moment. Very overcast. What's really good about Tasman Brits and how she batted in that opening encounter is her shot options, her use of the feet, and it almost felt like the South African batters today struggled to find options against someone like Affie Fletcher, who bowled so well, 15 dot balls in her spell. Those sustained periods often brought wickets, and that's the reason why they struggled to get away.
I think for the West Indian bowlers, they were able to vary their pace and bowl to a plan. Affie Fletcher was exceptional with her bowling efforts. Yeah, she's relaxing now.
She's allowed to. Nothing like a good little eye shut for a bit. She probably says, "You've got it under control, Captain." There's her arms, there's protection on the boundary, just a single.
I also think the bowling plan to Janita Glasgow has been just a bit off for South Africa. They've given her a bit of width, and she loves scoring once there's width on offer.
A new generation, bunch of multitaskers, one eye on the cricket, one eye on the game. Trying to prevent the second run, and got the breakthrough. Oh no, says Nadine de Klerk, I've done all the hard work. That could very well have been wicket number 5.
Yeah, she did well to get around the ground to collect, and yeah, just missed it, class. How could you?
That would have made things very interesting. Matthews on 49, 50th Women's T20 International as captain. What a time to stand up for your team. Seventh wide of the innings. Throw was good. It was all there for the taking. Klaas got the bails off, but she dropped the ball. Disappointment from de Klerk. Africa fighting to the end here, but Matthews has stood in their way. Quick single. And that's 50 for Hayley Matthews. And what a time to stand up for her team in her 50th Women's T20 International as captain. She raises her 18th time in this format, 98 for 4.
50th match as captain for Hayley Matthews, and brings it up with a 50 with the bat in hand. He's also been exceptional with ball.
A good all-round effort. And led the troops well. With ball in hand. 16 required. That's some strike from the captain. 6 runs appreciated by the dugout.
Yeah, the first 6 of the innings, courtesy the bat of the West Indian skipper. That was crunched.
Put herself in pole position for player of the match with that innings that she's played so easily. Could have gone out early and put the rest of the batters under pressure. Lots of young players in this team. She's taken control. She's had good all-round performance also with the ball. For 15 for Matthews to go with this 18th half century. She's really been the standout player for West Indies today. South Africa will look back at this match and think about that innings and how they went about it, how many dot balls they faced, how tough it was for the new batter to come in. So they certainly needed a couple more contributions in those middle period. Straight to the fielder. She had given up to Matthews.
Living the luck. She had given up. Driven firmly, but realized that it was just too hard to the fielder. Matabata class needed a direct hit. Yeah, kicking herself.
Get through this over quickly. They are slightly behind the rate.
Yeah, the Beals dropping hasn't exactly helped them either.
Ongakaka, she has a minute to get through his last 2 deliveries. Bales not playing ball at the moment.
The Beals has dropped now on either end with 2 deliveries to go.
There's certainly some weather about. It's very overcast now. Yeah, Matthews wants to get this over and done with. And that's racing towards the boundary for 4. Excellent shot from the captain.
Yeah, an excellent shot from Hayley Matthews. He makes the adjustments, gets across to the offside, but instead of going leg side, opens up the scoring on the off. Glorious.
12 from the over. Just 4 runs needed now for victory. (13 from the over). 1-1-1 for 4.
An expensive over for Maya Bongakaka. 13 runs from that over. Good to see a 6 and 4, 2 boundaries by the West Indian skipper. And they now need another 3 from 6.
Matthews says, Glasgow, just hang around with me. This is a good partnership. 34 from 31, just easing them to victory. Nadine de Klerk to bowl the final over of this match. Crowds rolling in here. West Indies just 3 away. Knocked away on the leg side. 63. Stefani Taylor, the only other West Indies women's captain to score a 50 against South Africa in T20 internationals. At 63 in Johannesburg in 2016. Hayley Matthews, 63 from 56 at the moment. You talked about little things didn't go their way in the opening game. Today, all those areas seem to click in their favour. Wickets in the power play. And they kept plugging away, restricting South Africa to 113 for 6. Up and over. Janelia Glasgow gets the boundary, and West Indies win by 6 wickets. First win in the format since January against Bangladesh, and it's